Listen, I got to tell you, if you want to have the fight, I'll have the fight, okay? If you want to try to tell me that you believe that you somehow represent something more pure when, if you're on the left, you just had 10 young people try to kill ICE officers because their policies suck, because the way they're doing it is wrong, and this is something you want to get behind and say, yeah, well, but what but? What are you, nuts? If you want to have a fight, I'm here for it. Okay? Because these fringe people on either side, you want somebody to take you on, I'm here for it. Because you're killing us with your crazy. What happened with these kids, these young people, I'm old, everybody's young to me. This was planned, it was organized, they baited, they picked the date, they were heavily harmed. I'm telling you, this could just have easily been an ISIS operation, and we would want to kill an entire country again. And yet now, this is no big deal. This is no big deal. I want to bring in two guys. I want to bring in Victor Avila and Phil Mudd. Phil Mudd, you know, he's a friend of mine. He's taught me so much over the years as a former FBI and CIA counterterrorism big shot. And Victor was Homeland Security supervisory agent. Victor, it's good to see you again. Thank you, Phil, for coming in right after the holiday like this. First of all, you know, Phil, you would tell me, am I wrong, or is this exactly fruit of the poisonous tree that we're seeing with these people? They look exactly like the Mangione guys. They look exactly like the MAGA mirror movement on the left. I mean, what's your assessment?
It pains me. I mean, it's not the same numbers, but this is sort of January 6th on the left. Let me give you why I would say that. In the past, when I grew up as a kid, Chris, you wouldn't know what somebody at the table believed. Democrat, Republican, you wouldn't know. You look at what happens in the world today. The Republicans viewed the Democrats, and the president said this over the weekend, as enemies. The left views the right as fascists. So when you start transitioning from political partisanship to telling your audience, that is people like this, that the adversaries are enemies, that Republicans are enemies, there's a certain percentage of that population that commits an act of violence. Let me close by saying my big concern as someone who was involved in investigations here is this is a small corner of Texas. This is 10 people who are on social media. Multiply this by 50 states. I don't know how many counties there are in America. And I can tell you that the FBI has a problem, not just looking at January 6 people, but looking at people on the left who believe now this is the appropriate reaction to the new presidency. This is sort of partisanship turned to enemies in America. And this is the result, Chris.
Crazy white people, Victor. That's what we keep seeing. Crazy, and I'm not trying to absent them from criminal responsibility. I don't think that there's any insane. There may be sickness, but we keep seeing it again and again. When do we wake up to this reality, and then what do we do about it?
It's sickening for to say the least. And I know this personally. My partner and I were ambushed. I know what this is about. And listen, this is politically motivated. This is the rhetoric from the left and the narrative that they've been spewing for the last years. Remember the abolish ICE movement years ago? It hasn't stopped, and they vilified law enforcement officers that happen to investigate immigration violations. So police officers pull you over for speeding all the time, and you don't see people going after personally to that police officer. But when it comes to the ICE agent, they're being doxxed, they're being attacked because they're doing their job and upholding the duty and the oath that they swore to do. This is intolerable for me, and I want to hear. I haven't heard any Democrat come out and condemn these actions and ask for it to stop, because it's about enough that we had about this. The last thing I want to see, Chris, is another ICE agent killed in line of duty because of these wackos.
You know, Victor got shot, for you guys at home. He was shot 3 times. And he survived it. I don't like bringing it up every time I have him on because he's a lot more than just what he survived in that one experience. You know, his head is just as valuable to us as what his body endured. But, Victor, people should know that. Phil, listen, man, you know, I get why this is dicey, and you don't have to own it. This is my perspective. But this is what I've been talking about, that, you know, these faces, to me, tell the story. This is who's coming at me online. These are the ones that are making the videos. And look, if these were a bunch of MAGA people, I think there'd be probably more male to female ratio, but that wouldn't surprise me either. We're creating our own enemy structure here at home. This is not Al-Qaeda, ISIS, the bad guys. We're worried about Iran and their proxies. Why do they need proxies? We're ready to kill ourselves.
I think that's right. And I think, let me be blunt, that the responsibility starts with leadership. There has been responsible leadership in this country. Look at the right. People like in my lifetime, the recent lifetime, Mitt Romney. If you look at conservative Democrats, if you look at Joe Manchin, for example, somebody who's regarded as a fringe of a Democrat, when I was in my 20s, he was viewed at the core. When fringe people in both parties start to characterize others as the adversary, this is what you're going to get. So I think you're right in characterizing this not as fringe, Chris. This is not fringe. This is starting to transition to the core of America. This is what a lot of people believe. When I run every day, I live in rural America in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. I see a bumper sticker every day that says F Joe Biden and that says F you if you voted for him. My partner saw a bumper sticker today that said F Donald Trump and F you if you voted for him. You would not have seen that 30 years ago. You see it today. Leadership is a problem. They cannot say these things. They will lead people to do what you saw in Texas against ICE agents.
Yeah. And of course, look, Victor, you know this. Them saying, oh, this was wrong. Listen, it's not about saying it's wrong. We all know it's wrong. It's that the language you use and the imagery you use and the messaging that you put out there make this logical. It makes it that MAGA is afraid of people who are coming into the country, that you believe that if you are MAGA, that you want to destroy the country and you're a fascist and you want Trump to be king. That's the crazy. It doesn't matter what you apologize for. All right, gentlemen, I got to jump. Victor, best to you and the family. We'll continue this conversation because we keep killing ourselves. So I'll talk to you in probably a week or so. Phil, God bless and be well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.